Breaking today, Carol Vorderman's new grift has been exposed. After spending 4 years working with hard left organisations like the Byline Times and LBC to convince the disunited kingdom that voting for slippery Starmer was going to be an answer to all of our ills, she has been left mortifyingly embarrassed, virtually out of work after LBC decided that she was even too extreme for them, and she ended up on the Sangita Miska-shaped scrap heap. Vorderman's coming back, and she's coming back via an organisation called Move Forward, the Movement Forward, and this seems to be a move to align herself with the Nutters and Jezbollah. So, Zara Sultana, Jeremy Corbyn, even that horrible little weasel Gary Stevenson, Charlotte Gill, the head of Doge UK and Woke Waste UK, has been looking into this disturbing movement, which she describes as a tactical voting alliance featuring Carol Vorderman and Femi Olawale. So Charlotte Gill, it's been fascinating seeing Carol Vorderman go through the stages of grief and realise that she was completely misled by Starmer. Her total arrogance meant that she thought she was a total asset to LBC, but the moment they thought, oh, you're going a little bit too far, she was just got rid of. But you have been looking into this new organisation, infiltrating some of the Discord accounts and things like that, and I am fascinated to know what this is all about. Is it Vorderman saying, I accept now that I was wrong when it came to Labour, and is she going to go all in on this new Corbyn and Sultana party? Or is this just a grift? Is this just a grift so that they can all make new money, kidding people that they have the answers again, even though that their answer from 12 months ago has just blown up spectacularly in their own faces? Can you believe that more than half of you are watching this video but not subscribed? So please do me a huge favour, click the subscribe button now, turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to all of our brand new Outspoken videos.
Well, it's quite complicated, but the gist of it is, because I've been researching Vorderman, she's like my mastermind subject. I've been researching her for some time. I think she looked like she was a Starmer lover at first, but it was really part of a broader plan hatched by Corbynistas. And it sounds absolutely bonkers and still until you start looking into the people that are part of the network with her. So Gary Stevenson, effectively, he's a wealth tax lobbyist. He's a Corbynista. The Greens love him. He's always on Novara Media, Politics Joe. He's on something called Pod Save the UK, which no one will have heard of, but it's part of the Corbynista media infrastructure, and it's what they use to amplify their propagandists, essentially. So Vorderman got involved with this group called the Movement Forward. They're registered on the Electoral Commission. That happened last year. They've got 3 different names. One, Swap My Vote, and the other one is Forward Democracy. And it's full of some, if you just think of the most ghastly people on Twitter, there's every chance you might have figured out who's in the Movement Forward. It's people like Femi Olawale, Supatansky, Gemma Fort, Marina Purkis, and the guy on the bottom right is called Josh Russell. He's really, there's 2 of them that are sort of the masterminds. So you can see Josh Forward there. This is their Discord group, and this is where the magic happens. People that are involved, members of the population can get involved in the Movement Forward, and you can see create a template letter there. That's them showing you stuff you can put on Twitter to help promote their agenda. Their agenda is largely, the one that I see Vorderman tweet out is largely pro-Palestine, pro the public ownership of water, which is a pretext for mass public ownership. She tweets about the wealth tax now. I mean, this is Carol Vorderman, who used to hang out with the Tories. So and mainly what she does is she retweets the propaganda magazines. That's Byline, the London Economic, Politics Joe, owned by the same people as the London Economic, the Good Law Project, which is actually an environmental group, which people don't realize, but if you really look at it, that's what it does. It's all linking together. And might say to me, isn't this just a coincidence? Isn't she just a bit left wing and she's just tweeting? People have to understand there are patterns. Like, this is my research patterns and organic. But people that love politics organically, like you and I, Dan, we don't have the same patterns. We're like, this is a brilliant article, I'm going to share it today, but it's not like every day the same publication. What we're seeing is the cross-pollination to build a chorus, to promote an agenda, which people like Vorderman are involved with, the other shills I've mentioned. There's lots of different, it's a very vast network, but its result is it's altering people's perception of what they think the public want.
Yeah, indeed. What's interesting to me, though, Charlotte, is that Global clearly did decide that Vorderman was a liability. Because remember, she had been so closely allied to James O'Brien. They had even done that live show together. I don't think they sold out in the end, so the demand wasn't there. But she has really had to try and pick herself up, wasn't she? Because to be cast out by Global, if you are one of these left-wing shills, is very, very difficult. I mean, Sangeeta Miska hasn't recovered either. They're sort of flailing about. And do you think it's almost pushing them further to the left because that is the only position where there is now a grift available, given the Global money has been cut off?
I don't know if she has ended things with Global. She is promoting a lot of Global content. For instance, she was promoting Ed Davey a few days ago, and that was sort of, his anti-Donald Trump thing. And now Ed Davey's doing the James O'Brien show on LBC. So it was sort of getting Ed Davey in people's consciousness to get them ready for his amazing show. She's still doing the propaganda. She's still working with people that work for Global. My hypothesis is that she was moved onto the sidelines there. She was causing a bit too much, or maybe she just was like, God, saying to the producers that I'm getting really affected by all the backlash I'm getting. I still want to work with you, but can you just put me like on the sidelines? I think that's happened on Twitter. Her last tweet was on the 28th of July. People are like, where's she gone? She's disappeared. No, she's on B Sky, which I'm not on, but she's also on Instagram and she is putting up loads of posts. And I suspect she's there because it's a bit more nicey nice. Like,
Yes, and
you
she's
can't get
losing
trolled
on
the same way.
she's
But she's
losing on X. That's the
it's
problem.
yeah, it's this exactly the same team. I think what's changed is actually I've been able to see more that it is the Corbynistas really behind this. The Tactical Voting Alliance, they got Starmer in so they can move things to the hard left, and that includes the Greens and possibly the Lib Dems. So it's all, it keeps me on my toes, but that is where I think it's
Well,
gone.
Well, Charlotte, the other thing I was fascinated to talk to you about was this revelation from you that left-wing activists were given scripts telling them to back Gary Lineker. And you say that these scripts were actually created in 2023 after Lineker compared government asylum policy to living in 1930s Germany. Wow. Tell me about this.
I mean, I found it hilarious, but it was part of Zoe Gardner and the school she went to, Neon for short. It's called the New Economy Organisers Network. One of the scripts I was looking through, I was particularly interested in asylum because, people like Zoe Gardner using all those talking points. And yeah, the script they made in 2023, so it was when Lineker compared government policy to 1930s Germany, very offensive. But Neon, which is funded by Soros, a lot of other big funders, advised its activists, its sort of youth activists. It said, it was basically saying, back Gary Lineker, use this to promote our policies, which are very open border, liberal ideas. And it gives them exact scripts to say. Like, they don't have to say it, but it's sort of like, here's a suggestion. There are 3 they can use to say that Gary Lineker is basically right and amazing to push their agenda. So these people, they're always seeing everything as an opportunity.
And Charlotte, just finally, big in the Daily Mail today. Congratulations. Brilliant piece revealing how you exposed the charity getting children to write Valentine's cards to asylum seekers. But first, the #1 worst fruit for your waistline. Look, are you turning healthy fruits into highly unhealthy fruits without even realizing it? Fruit can be one of the healthiest things you can put into your body. But the majority of Americans are guilty of making this single mistake that can counteract all of the health benefits of fruit. Some fruits can help with occasional constipation, reduce bloating, and even help burn calories. Others can wreak havoc on your digestive system and energy levels. Now, I came across this viral presentation from world-renowned heart surgeon Dr. Stephen Gundry that showcases the 3 fruits to stop eating today. It was shocking. I had no idea. And after finding it out, I've stopped eating these 2. I'm going to put a link for you all to watch it because I want you all to gain this information. I think it's truly important, actually. You can go watch it right now at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. That's thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. I've also linked it in the description box below this video too, or if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, you can just click on the QR code on screen or hold up your phone, you go to the QR code, you know how it works. Oh, and by the way, eliminating these fruits could forever change the way we help increase energy levels, decrease brain fog, support digestion, and even lose weight. So make sure to click on the link below or go to thehealthyfat.com/outspoken to find out now. Dr. Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone. His health is fantastic. He feels younger today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date. You can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. Just click on the link in the description box below this video. But now, back to the show.
Yeah, it's bonkers. The charity is called City of Sanctuary UK. I really want as many people to know about it as possible because they have been getting councils across the UK as well as schools to sign up to their agenda. They're funded by open border charities. They are the kind of people that would make it easier for people to come over and live in Epping, basically. And they encouraged school children to create these cards, these Valentine cards, to show solidarity with refugees, or they call them sanctuary seekers. This is all coming, the terminology and ideas are coming from the US, sanctuary cities. You can check out my Substack, cheeky plug, and there's a list
I love your
of
Substack.
schools, but people can find out. They can find out if they're a borough of sanctuary or a school of sanctuary, and I think it's a scandal.
No, that is the perfect point, Charlotte. You do God's work. You are absolutely brilliant. My audience adore you. But the key point is you do need support. Because the great thing is you're an independent journalist. Yes, the Daily Mail might run this piece, but most of what you do, you create yourself, you fund yourself, and so you need support. And the best way to support you, I'm a subscriber, is Woke Waste, the Charlotte Gill Substack, which I recommend. So if you go to www.outspoken.live and you can see my recommendations, you will see Charlotte Gill's Substack through there, and she does absolutely brilliant work because we need to expose these networks. That's the critical thing. We need to know all of these interconnections. So Charlotte Gill, keep going. Thank you so much. What a day, what a week. Who is the worst Briton in the world this week? Okay, some of your comments. Zippy2874 says, it's always a hard choice, but I think given the lack of empathy and vile race baiting that just seems to be never ending, it was almost impossible, but I'll say Narinder Kaur. Jackie8235 says, Nadia Swala are a bit of a woke, but the other 3 are just horrible human beings. That Andy Whereas says all of them, but especially after that Z-list Big Brother star who has made being a victim her main character. Zoe Thompson, 4305, says Jess Phillips, tell her to do her job and protect women and children. She's done nothing to help any. Jim Gers says, every face makes me feel ill. It's like a scientific experience. Just how much stupid can you cram into one head? Answer, there's no limit. So you may have gathered who we were talking about here. But let me remind you, on Monday, your union jackass was Narinder Kaur for threatening to take Lucy Connolly and myself. Well, actually, she did report us to the police for my interview with Lucy Connolly, which was just disgusting. On Tuesday, Femi Olawale for describing Lucy Connolly as a right-wing terrorist. On Wednesday, your union jackass was Jess Phillips for her ongoing failure in regard to the government's rape gang inquiry. And on Thursday, it was Nadia Sawalha, the Loose Women presenter who so obviously pushed back against Ryland Clark, prompting a civil war at the woke broadcaster. But this week, I have to say the results were astonishing. With just 4% of the vote, in fourth position, Nadia Sawalha. In third position, with 7% of the vote, Femi Olawale. Can you see where this is heading? The runner-up, with 18% of the vote, Jess Phillips. But this was a record. Your overwhelming winner, the worst Briton in the world this week, with 72% of your vote, Narinder Kaur. And I understand the anger, by the way. I completely understand the anger, because how could you see Lucy Connolly coming out of prison, her dignified interview, the explanation that she gave, and genuinely think, I know, I want to send her back to prison. I want to take her away from her young daughter Edie, from her husband Ray, again, after spending 380 days behind bars. And how could you also think, with everything going on up and down this country, the crime wave, that you were going to waste the police's time? Because guess what, Narinder? Of course, the interview was run by the probation services, who did not stop it. And Narinder, she didn't earn a penny, even though you spread this terrible disinformation. I hate that word. That terrible lie that she was somehow in cahoots with the Daily Mail and that she was being paid for the pat pictures. No. She has not earned a penny. Lucy Connolly just wanted to tell her story. So shame on you. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.